I made a terrible mistake and I need your help to fix it. Take a look at this fallen angel that I made last week. Can you see the mistake? Pause the video and leave a comment below on what you think went wrong and how you could make it better. All done? Okay, let's have a look at the model so that we can learn from my mistakes and use this easy trick to take your miniatures to the next level and transform them into something unique. This is Cursed Crusader Arts. Take another look, specifically at the legs and the sword-bearing arm. Do these pieces work together? The answer is clearly no, but why is this the case? It's because the legs are a dynamic piece, creating a sense of movement as if the character is leaning back from the recoil of his weapon. Now look at the sword arm. Is it dynamic? Does it create a sense of movement and energy? No, this piece is static. The sword is held in a relaxed grip with the point resting on the ground. This suggests that our character is at ease and is in no rush to move around, creating a weird feeling in our minds as to what our miniature is doing. So how do we fix this? How do we learn from my terrible mistake? Well, we try again. We've already identified what is wrong and why it's wrong. So let's build ourselves a new fallen angel so that we can compare them at the end. I start off by building up 4 more sets of legs. Citadel has designed them to be monoposed, giving each miniature its own personality and stance. By building these, I have a visual reminder of how each will impact the overall miniature, and it will also let me physically dry fit the pieces against the torso to see what it would look like when they're put together. This time I decided to create a melee specialist, dual-wielding combat knives. So I picked out and cleaned up all the pieces I would need, including the knife-wielding right arm, its sheath, and a shoulder pad. This arm is going to remain in its original form, stabbing down on the enemy, with the legs suggesting that he's lunging forwards. Now, there isn't a knife-wielding left arm, so we're going to have to get creative and make our own. First of all, I put the other pieces of the model together. This included some chainmail from an old Chaos Space Marine torso, I made another Anvilus pattern power pack, and finally I attached the sheathed combat knife to the Fallen Angel's belt. This knife is going to tell us exactly where the hand is going to be, because I envision him drawing the knife in a fast and seamless move, even as he strikes with the other one. The first thing to do is to cut off the hand that we want to be drawing the knife. If we look at it in its original form, it's being used to signal to his squad mates, but we don't want that, so cut off his hand and add him to the growing ranks of handless Skywalkers.
Oh, I hate you.
Meanwhile, the other arm is going to be divided into 3 segments. The shoulder, the upper arm, and the forearm. What we're doing is taking advantage of the ball joints to angle the arm into a new but realistic pose. As you dry fit the pieces together, drill holes through the pieces at the correct angles and feed a piece of wire through it. This will not only help you line up the whole limb, but also reinforce the bond when you glue it together. By the end of it all, you can see that the hand rests nicely on the hilt of the combat knife, and the shoulder is just about in the correct position. It might look a little strange and out of proportion, but once you put the giant shoulder pad on, it will cover up most of it anyway, and sell the illusion. And just like that, you've transformed your Space Marine into something unique that will draw in the eyes of anyone around. And you've learnt the first steps into reposing your miniatures. But it's likely that you'll run into more problems and mistakes as you go along. Perhaps you have some warped resin. Maybe your paint job didn't come out as well as you'd hoped. Or perhaps you ruined your nan's family recipe. Well, whatever that problem is, click this video to get the universal guide that will help you overcome literally any problem you'll ever face. But whatever you choose to do, make things, have fun, and I'll see you next time on Cursed Crusader Arts.